Okay, so the time is 7:18 p.m., May 11th, 2025. Let me remind anyone who might be a decent person out there how me and Jesus work. The threat, I'm now getting threats. What's new? I don't read them. I'm sure I've got a lot of threats. It's just that one I happen to notice. I don't read anything that these stalking, hunting men type to me. Why? You got to understand why it's different for me than other people. Let me remind you, I walk through bio and chemical weapons, and I consistently, whenever I want, talk to Jesus. And what is Jesus? He's a life form. And what is Jesus? An angel. And what are angels? They're aliens. And what did Jesus say? He said all of that. Jesus even gave me a pretty little name. He said my name is Kamacom, and I don't remember it. When did Jesus say this? He didn't ever say it was Jesus. When I first contacted Jesus, he was an African angel. Okay? But we don't discuss this in detail like you're supposed to with people having a conversation because I'm always by myself. So I put what I want to, when it's allowed, and what's allowed out on the internet, okay? We've never really ever discussed much of this on the internet. But if you haven't noticed over all these 7 years, let me remind whoever might be out there how me and Jesus work. I would know if someone's coming with a bat. I would know every last detail about the person. If I wanted, I would know about that person right now. I'm not allowed. When I came into the terrorist compound, what I was allowed to do became very, very restricted. And that is why I'm so mad at my creator. My African angel is what he was when I first contacted him, not Jesus. I say Jesus to fit in and blend in, and so people don't get so confused. But Jesus is real. I love Jesus, but this is a totally different subject. All right, we're not talking about Jesus, and I don't communicate with Jesus. It's an angel. Okay, anyways. What happened when I came in here was all the information got cut off. My job became, this is why I'm so mad. Jesus told me at 18, he made it very clear. You are created. He explained a lot. It was 3 days. We chatted. I didn't hear him. But we'll talk if anyone ever wants to speak to me in person. We'll talk about how I first started communicating with Jesus. Those big 3 days, because it was never the same after that. But anyway, so he explained to me creation, created. Jesus created me literally. He's told me exactly how. You guys do it now a little bit, like test tube baby. You know how you make a baby in a lab? That's me, 100%. It's a fucking huge. How do you remember how he grades it? Beyond cosmos and squared. That's it. I'm created. Okay, so but we'll get into that because it's a whole nother talking point. So you got to understand this. When I came in here, my creator cut me off of all information. I literally just go back and forth to the bathroom. That's one reason why there's so much emotion that comes out on these videos over the years, is because I'm not only in a bad situation, but I know people don't understand because they've never heard of something like this. A person literally almost controlled, but I'm not controlled. But this word, I guess we'll use that word right now. A person literally controlled when they pee, not diarrhea, not poison pee, but when they pee, when they wake up, he'll wake me up, he'll have me go pee. He's done this all my life before I was 18. He has control over my body. Is that a surprise to you? He created me. There's a lot of paranormal stuff that I've experienced with my body, but it's just normal to me. My physical anatomy. I've been like this all my life since I was born here. Okay? Which is what I remember. So that's why I wouldn't say to anyone, oh, I'm from here, I'm this or that. No, because I can't say that with all sincerity. I don't know anything else but this, which is what's intended. I'm not supposed to remember. He made it very clear to me. I don't remember anything. So no, I couldn't tell anybody anything but what I'm saying now, but I never say much because we don't really have a conversation. I'm never really allowed. When I came into the terror cell, what was allowed? My free will, my just impulse, acting on impulse like all people get to do, and me too, somewhat, not as much as the rest of you. That became a part of the past. Once I came in here, every breath I took, every move I make was ordered by Jesus. And it's not Jesus, it's an angel. But I'm trying to say Jesus, I try to say this or that so people can try to understand what I'm talking about at all, because it's completely something you've never heard of before. I know you haven't. And why is that? Because it only takes one. Uno. And one brings the rest. He made this very clear, especially at 18 when I was very young. One. Not 7, not 9. One. Okay? So this one guy that wants to bring a baseball bat, besides the special forces that are very present here, I wouldn't need to even worry. Why would you approach any premeditated target? Here I am. I'm a predator. I'm bringing a bat. I'm going to bash somebody with it. So I'm going to come and do a violent crime. It's premeditated. And my target, my victim, claims to know who I am before I'm coming, what time I come, what I'm coming with, every last weapon. If I'm coming with anyone else, my target can find out anything about me. Just how, I don't know, but my target claims to be able to do that. My target can pin me on a map. My target can pin anybody else I'm with on a map. My target can pin where I'm going to go after on a map. My target can pretty much fuck my shit up. My target can be waiting for me because my target knows where I'm coming and where I'm coming in from. My target might be waiting for me to kill my ass, and I'm not even aware my target's there. Because I think my target's sitting alone like a dumb bitch in a room, scared of my baseball bat. No. But see, the thing is, when it came in here, the special forces came in here. I've never been around military like that. Okay? And so I don't have to worry about freaks with baseball bats, because that guy will have to deal with all these commando agents. So I would bring a lot more than a baseball bat here, since there's all these trained military agents. And it is very true. There's much of the time, because Jesus had me move in here, don't you see, remember? And Jesus wanted me to do nothing and know nothing. He's cut me off from all information. But to go back and forth to the bathroom, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, walk through every last poisonous gas that they bring to mankind here. And I did. And I did it in front of the military that everybody knows flies over the house. Even people on the internet know it. I don't ever talk about the military. But they're around so much, sometimes you do pick up on the camera once in a while, yeah. But so they know I'm doing it. They know I talk to an angel. No, I'm in here. They're very aware that I talk to an angel. All the time. Whenever I want. There's nothing wrong with that. Nope. It's been working for me. But what the problem was my angel told me to move in here. And when I moved in here, it wasn't really working for me, because I started to help stop white nationalists, and I was financially ruined from it, and stalked and hunted and almost killed by cops ever since I went after Bannon. When I went after Bannon, I had to drop out of school. It got so dangerous. There was people outside of my apartment in New York all the time. But see, I never talk about that. It was the mafia. But I never talk about that. There was cops that were so dangerous. To me, I had to stop driving my car before I took off from New York to DC. I had to drop out of school and hide out in my house. But I never talk about that. 7 years later, it's because I've been doing nothing but what? What have you seen me do? Locations, locations, locations. And what has it caused? It's caused absolutely no war. Because all those locations go to the military, 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 military. I know that. I knew that starting this. But what I didn't expect is that these locations would keep these fucking cops and every last freak with a baseball bat alive too. I thought the military would take more action than they did. And when I came in here, it was one of the biggest disappointments in my life that they didn't even take action on a terrorist cell with chemical weapons. I mean, Baghdad got blown up on the pretense of chemical weapons. And the military has never done anything about this here. And it's been 5 years. So it's one of the biggest disappointments of my life. I've given up. They won't. No, I don't believe so. I have no reason to even discuss this anymore. It's one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Who they are, I don't know. I know my fiance, but that's on the rocks. That, obviously, that's on the rocks. I don't know if I'll ever see him again or talk to him. Maybe not. If I did, I would give him the opportunity to explain himself, but could it be forgiven? Could it be forgiven? Could we really walk down the aisle? I don't know. That's really a big question, and I have to be honest. And I'm glad I can say it publicly because I have respect for myself. I have no apologies to make it to anyone or anything I owe anyone. I don't owe anyone anything. I don't owe anyone my hand in marriage. I don't owe anyone the words "I forgive you." I don't owe anyone that. Being forgiven, you have to earn that, and you have to earn someone's loyalty, and loyalty hasn't quite been earned. I've been left here in a terrorist cell for years on end by myself, and now I've been left to be stalked and stalked and stalked and hunted and threatened and threatened and threatened and threatened and threatened and threatened, and I'm still in here by myself. This terror it's still raging and rolling here. I can't talk about it. I can never talk about what's happening here. It's full fucking speed ahead here. And I'm just left here by myself. Gassed and gassed and gassed. Not one penny to my name. Not any help or even an apology. And not even an apology or even the decency to tell me what the fuck gas they even used on me. No, absolutely nothing. I'm just left here. And my fiance thinks that this is going to be easy for him if I ever do talk to him. It's pretty much on the rocks. And we all are adults and we all know that. It's not going to be easy for him. I can't guarantee there's going to be a wedding happening. And, going to a base sounds good for safety, but I don't know. I mean, if these friendships with all the special forces just have become too toxic because of the fact that I was here for so many years left to die, and now I'm being stalked and stalked and stalked and physically threatened all the time, and the compound, which I still don't talk about, just is full speed ahead. Are these friendships that God really wants me to try to keep? Maybe it's time to just say goodbye to everybody, I am thinking that. We'll see what happens. More than likely, no one will ever talk to me. More than likely, no one will ever help me. More than likely, this will go on and on and on. More than likely, I'll leave in a cab by myself. So there will be nothing else to really evaluate. Well, there won't be anyone around to see if it's a toxic friendship. They'll just never come. They'll just never tell me what happened, and they'll just never say sorry. Yeah, I don't know if this online stalking and just violent threats. I don't know when I leave here in a cab if that will continue. Probably, because no one does anything. They don't do anything about the United States. They don't do anything about a chemical weapons compound. They don't do anything about their capital. And they don't do anything about a woman begging for help. And then this guy thinks I'm going to marry him. I would think again. Okay. Just have to be honest, okay? But how me and Jesus roll? Let's get back to the point at hand, all right? The military is very aware of how me and Jesus roll. And when it came in here, the special forces came in here, okay? And so all my basic tactics of me and Jesus were shut off. My job is to go back and forth and endlessly be yes. Sometimes they think I'm dying. Yeah, about 100 times. And do I get an apology for that? No. Do I get any restitution settlement for that? No. Do I get any help for that? No. No. But as far as guys with bats, good luck. When I came in here, Jesus never told me that with the special forces being here, there'd be other special forces coming here too. He never told me that. And the other special forces were really fucking bad men. Really evil fucking people. And that they'll go after you, mommy, as fast as they'll go after these special forces that you know are here. So Jesus, if anyone's connecting the dots, put me, his little angel he created, in the middle of fucking armed conflict. The special forces are very aware I'm sitting in the middle of their armed conflict. They've been very aware that I'm stuck in here for multiple years in the middle of their armed conflict. So hypothetically, how me and Jesus roll. If 5 commando, really evil guys were on their way, Jesus would tell me, but he would tell me first, and everything else that me and Jesus do. And it would be such a bad scene, such a bad situation for 5 fucking agents to walk into. You see what I did at the bank, right? With all the dots and the arrows and their tactic stuff and their screen to cover their shooter. And yeah, that's just nothing. That's nothing. I can get 10 times worse than that. They know that. The evil military is very aware of what I've done all these 7 years. At the park, the financial center, right? Well, that money's never going to come. Nothing's ever going to happen. What's going to happen is endless armed conflict and combat, and I'm just stuck here, and I get myself out in a cab with like $5 to my name. Okay, that's what's happening, folks. I'll never get an apology or any help. That's what's happening. And this online stalking is getting so intense, they're just flat out telling me they're going to come crush my brains with a baseball bat. See, they don't understand, do they, how me and Jesus roll. And that's what's astonishing to me. After 7 years, they still don't even have any hint of any clue. So it worked then. It really worked, because for 5 years, I just had stupid conversations with them, let them all come, let them arrest me a couple times. I still came back by the grace of God. Well, Jesus wouldn't have had me get arrested. He won't have me get arrested and killed. He'll just tell me, go out, go to the park, get away. It's fucking completely criminal what they're doing. Just come back in a couple hours. But he won't do it. He insists I sit here, stay here, stay here, stay here. When the house is filled with fucking gas. And I'm like, okay, I gotta run. I gotta get the cats out. He says, no, you sit and stay here. I can't leave. Well, I obviously can sit through it, but I mean, my God, he will not let me fucking leave. I can walk out, it's safe, but I can't leave here. It's a full-on angel thing. He has me here. You guys don't fucking get it on this earth, do you? On this planet. You just don't fucking get it. I'm here, folks. And where am I? 6 blocks from the White House. I'm in the capital of the U.S. Do you think this is a fucking mistake? Do you think Jesus is just fucking playing this off his ass? No, it's all on purpose. I'm just sitting here. And that's my job. And that's why these videos are, half of them are so emotional, and I can't talk about it. I can never talk about Jesus. I'm fucking furious at him. He's got me destitute, financially ruined, and sitting here going back and forth to the bathroom, cut off from all information, having people threaten me with bats when they're so stupid. Dude, I would know everything about the guy. I know when he's coming, and you think I wouldn't defend myself? I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't have to. The guy would be so fucking toast just by me alone. I would never come to a target that knew that much about me. That much, dude. No way. So that's what I mean by all these commandos. So let's say an evil group of commandos was deciding to come. Well, I would just kind of destroy that little operation for them, wouldn't I? And I used to do that all the time. It's too risky. Agents, even if they're evil, don't come like idiots into a fucking suicide mission. Oh, and don't forget, it's on fucking Facebook. Agents aren't that stupid. And the ones I found myself with, the evil ones, they came in after these special op guys. And I found myself with all of them. I found little angel Heidi with all of them running back and forth to the bathroom. All right, so you go ahead and bring your Department of Mental Health. You go ahead and write down every word I say. And I'll see you and I'll film you. Talk to you later.